What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Deja E.
And it's your boy, Dante.
And we are back with another great episode of Culture or Clickbait. And y'all already know we take the hottest headlines in music, sports, and entertainment, and we say if it's for the culture.
Or just for the clicks.
I just want to say, what is happening over there?
Having a little, what you call it, Tourette's episode? No,
yeah.
I'm not, y'all. Please, don't ever take that serious.
No, please don't, because they're real people. I actually ended up on somebody's TikTok who had Tourette's, and it was like, she was like a young adult. So she's probably like 21, 22. And she was like walking us through like when she had like little episodes. I forgot what she called it. I forgot exactly what it's called when they have like a major Tourette's moment where it just jump out. And it was just so cool to see her talk about it. Like, it was just interesting because she was basically saying like once she get a certain level of flustered or just like a lot of pressure or something like that, she just kind of have a tick. That's what it's called, a tick.
That's the one who was like,
yes, a tick. A tick. She be trying to get it out. Even when she be recording the video, she be trying to get it out and she just have a moment. But yes, it's actually like really interesting to see how people function through that.
Man, I'm glad I don't suffer from that.
Yeah.
Because I did see that exact same video you talking about, and I was like, God, is that how it works? Like every few seconds, she ticking.
Yeah. Dante, how was your week?
Oh, my week was great. Oh my God, I can't wait till I can express to you some of the things that's happening. But I can't wait, and I can't say it yet.
You holding secrets? That's crazy.
I know, right? And this is one that I don't want to hold. But it's like once I tell you, you're gonna be like,
well, you know what? You hold a secret. You do something like win the lottery and then you just put me some money to the side.
shit, it feels like the lottery.
Close enough. We'll take it.
Close enough.
We will take it. Yeah, my week was pretty light. I'm not gonna lie. This was one of those weeks, and I just was looking around like that because you know how you just kind of be on cruise control?
Mm-hmm.
This was a week that I feel like I was on cruise control. Like, ask me what I did 2 days ago, and I can't tell you. I just kind of been going through the motions.
Well, that's a good thing for you because you have had like a pretty busy last few weeks.
Yeah.
So to have a weekend where you could just kind of relax your mind, I mean, that's good. You need it.
Sort of kind of relax my mind. Definitely, you know, because I wear multiple caps, I have to move around in a bunch of different capacities, but...
Basically back to regular scheduled program.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I got to really start taking notes at the end of the day, like you did X, Y, and Z. So I could keep up with what I did. Because truly drawing a blank right now, but...
I mean, it's just like we always talk about when it comes down to just like the idea of just mental health and things like that. Being able to kind of free your mind sometimes is needed. And I think you gave yourself that perfect amount of time coming off of a busy week that you've had. Yeah. Like just the idea of being able to mentally let go and even forget that this is your normal everyday routine. I think that was needed for you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Dante, since we're talking about mental health, we might as well just jump into our topics because the first one today, we're talking about Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which is the month of November, for those of you who don't know.
Yes, I'm an advocate.
Yes. So just a mental check-in because you are a man. How are you? How are you feeling?
I think I'm good. I think when it comes to, if people who don't know, I have been seeing a therapist, especially myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a few different versions of therapy, especially grief therapy after my father passed. And then like back to back, I had my grandmother and my great grandmother die. Mm-hmm. So between that time, all happened a year from each other. I went through a really, really bad breakdown emotionally where I just could not, like I wanted to be done.
Yeah.
Like I was probably on my way out of here. So yeah, I sat down with a therapist. And she really kind of taught me through it. And she also helped me understand a lot of things that I was holding on with those situations. God dang it. Why did we go here?
Oh, my bad. That make you, that strike emotion.
Kinda, but I'm gonna get through it. Because, I mean, it's a serious situation.
I'm sorry, but it's needed.
I don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because I really went through that. Like, I've even lost friends because of it. Because they thought I was like really pushing them out of my life. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that. It was just, I had a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I could not stomach even being social.
Yeah.
And I'm a social person.
You are.
I threw working away. Like a lot of work, I just stopped doing. I went cold turkey. I didn't want to do nothing. during that time. So I would definitely say 2025 has been a year of like new enlightenment for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's my first time ever seeing you like get choked up in reference to anything, because you really are usually like the happy friend or the friend that come in bringing the energy, or the person that's checking on everybody, or you have great advisement and advice that you give often, but you don't walk around talking about your experiences either. Like, you truly are one of those people that if you don't talk about it, one would naturally forget that you probably could be going through something, because you don't ever display it or carry it like that. So,
well, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that's good though. I'm happy you are definitely going through therapy and that you've been vocal about that too. So that's really dope.
Yeah, I think it's needed. I think I am a big advocate for it.
Yeah.
At first, I was against it, but until I had to actually sit through it myself and I saw what it was able to do for me, I became definitely a big advocate for it. And I would employ anybody else to do it if you feel like you need it.
Yeah. Now, while we're on this topic, we have to talk about Marshawn Kneeland, yes, who recently passed at the age of 24. He was a DL for the Dallas Cowboys, and unfortunately, how it was just said, man.
If y'all don't know, a defensive lineman.
Jesus, yeah, I did abbreviate that. This is a serious topic. This is a very serious topic. It's like, dang. So he passed away at the age of 24. It was a self-inflicted wound. This story is just one of those stories that's like very alarming and concerning, because just days prior, he had made his first professional touchdown, like his first career touchdown as a professional athlete. And days later, he had a mental health episode of some sort, and from our understanding, took his own life.
Yeah. The most alarming part about this whole situation when it comes to him is that, so there was a chain of events that led up to his death. Mm-hmm. You can even just start from the whole idea of the police chase. You know, it was a regular stop. They stopped him and tried to pursue him, and that is what led the chase on, because he fled. Mm-hmm. He fled the scene. Well, fled the scene. I'm so sorry. Yeah. He fled the scene. And when he did that, it caused them to chase him. Now, when they chased him, his car eventually crashed, and they lost all sight and all visual of him, and they had to go search him. Now, remind you, all of this took about 3 hours in length.
Yeah.
From the time of the stop to the time they actually found his body. But in that time, he had time to text his girlfriend and say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah.
Now, once that happened, in the report, it stated that the police got wind of that before they found his body. So they knew at that point something was serious, and then when they found him dead at the moment that they found him. And it was a self-inflicted gunshot. So he didn't die from the accident, but leading from the accident, he had time to go ahead and take his own life.
Right.
Unfortunately, like I said, this is an unfortunate event, and it just goes back to the conversation about mental health.
Right.
And you never know what anybody's dealing with, because for it to become that serious, for me, there had to be some underlying issues that was happening at the same time this happened. Because for him to just flee the scene from the police and then end up killing himself, it almost seems as though this was kind of premeditated, as if he knew this was going to happen. He planned today to go out.
Yeah. And even just going back a little further, at the age of 22, he lost his mom. So, and a bunch of stories have come out in reference to the fact that he would carry his mom's urn around that had her ashes in it and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different things that he probably was dealing with mentally that more than likely weighed on him more than he could ever express, really. So it is a very like sad and unfortunate situation, and he had a bright future. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is scary because, again, his girlfriend was able to call police and let them know like he has a weapon and he does suffer from mental health issues. So he really will take his life. Like, she confirmed to them that he will do it. And that's just scary in general. you know? So it's like prayers definitely goes out to his family and his loved ones and everybody affected by the situation. And y'all just make sure y'all really are checking on people and specifically men. Specifically men, because a lot of the time men do not speak up about what it is that they're dealing with because they feel like, I just have to deal with it. It's my job to carry the load. So y'all just make sure y'all check on everybody, you know?
Now, while we're talking about this idea of just depression, mental health, and the importance of it, we can't move on without even addressing Rod Wave.
For sure.
So if y'all don't know, Rod Wave was actually just recently arrested for possession of a firearm.
Yep.
And a few other things. Now, the thing about his whole situation for me, Daisha, is that Rod Wave has actually been very open about his depression and mental health issues.
For sure.
And he's actually been living it right in front of us. And a lot of people don't notice it. Sometimes they think it's just the music, like he's just a sad guy in song.
Yeah.
But this is actually his real life.
Yeah.
Even down to, have you ever noticed like him and his girlfriend, when they go back and forth, it always ends up in a domestic dispute?
Yeah.
Like all of that kind of tells me there's something more serious going on with Rod Wave that people should pay attention to. So just even going back to this case and him being arrested, you know, just brings all of that back full circle. Because he's actually, this is not his first time in some type of legal issue just like this.
Right. And when you think about the things that he's facing right now as far as charges, they all make you go back to the idea of maybe mentally he wasn't there, because reckless driving, possession of a controlled substance, and gun charges, that you obviously was out of your mind, you know what I'm saying? Or having an out-of-body experience to put yourself in the type of position to get caught for those type of things. So it does give a cry for help. It does give a lot's going on in his life right now. And I just personally feel like I don't really know what Rod would be if he didn't make the type of music that he made or shared the story. Granted, I want for his life, for him to become happy, for him to choose happiness. Let me say that, to choose it, because I don't think it's no becoming. You have to just make a conscious choice and just be okay with life. I'm ready for him to get to that point.
I could see if Rod Wave ever had to make a change in music style, and it wouldn't be a drastic one. I can see him doing like coming of age music, where it's mostly about experiences of the past and how he got through it.
Literally.
But not necessarily he has to be in like serious pain in that moment.
Yeah.
It's almost like his redemption story within the song.
Yeah.
Like I can see that for him, because eventually, and I know we kind of hate to see artists in their happy era, because we did the same thing with Keisha Cole when she started to get happy.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, K. Michelle. Like once these artists get happy, we kind of not love their music as much the same.
Yeah.
But I think it's a way for him to do it, because people got so caught up in him being a pain music artist. I think there's a way for him to do it to where we can still feel your journey and your pain, but also appreciate where you are now.
Yeah.
He just has to find that medium.
For sure. I agree. Would you say this is for the culture or this is clickbait?
I would definitely say both these topics are for the culture.
I agree.
Because it strikes a conversation of something way more serious, just like you said earlier, that we don't even think about sometimes, because we try to sweep it under the rug as if, you know, we're okay.
Yeah.
You know, and this is two moments of people who just not okay, and they could have a silent cry for help, but they just couldn't say it.
Yeah, genuinely. I agree with that. I think this is definitely for the culture too.
Now, while we're talking about some other things that's for the culture or clickbait, this topic is definitely clickbait, and it's somebody who is definitely having a cry for help. Mr. Paul Pierce. Now, if y'all have not seen the viral clip, Mr. Paul Pierce goes on his podcast where he spoke about relationships, and he stated that if you want to know if a girl really loves you, cheat on her. Now, that has to be the most dumbest advice I ever heard somebody of his age give. Now, granted, if you feel like that's what you want to do, all hell to you. But if you ask me, that's the easiest way to end up single. But then again, you got more money than I do, so you ain't got my type of problem.
I ain't got a rich play a little harder.
You can your game might be more stronger than mine. So hey, go ahead and cheat. That's all you got to do. But for me, cheating gonna end up single.
You see, my issue with this is I feel like it was just a ignorant statement to make. Is it some truth there? Yeah. It is sort of kind of some truth there in a very toxic way. No, but in a very toxic way, like in an extremely toxic way. I feel like it should not have to go to that extent. But when you think about what he's saying, right? You have grandmothers who done been with their husband for eons, and people knew that your granddaddy was talking to Miss Mary up the street, but your grandma was still there. Like he has a point to what he's saying. The reality.
But was that love back then, or was that I'd rather have a man than a piece of man?
For all we know is that was love.
A piece of man than a man.
For all we know is that was love. To each his. I think that's situational. Some people just wanted a piece of man. Some people really did love their man. It felt like, Shirley, this is Barbara. You ain't finna trick me out, my man. Sorry, not sorry. But I don't think that's something that he should have said to the masses of people. If that was a private conversation he was having amongst himself with his homeboys or with like other people, that's one thing. But to say to the masses of people, I think it's very ignorant. I think that it's very like toxic. And I also just feel like he's coming from an athlete standpoint too. Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody wants an athlete, right? But nobody thinks about the fact that women are being thrown at them from every angle. So the chances of you having an athlete who does not cheat is extremely slim. It don't even sound logical as I sit here and say it like out loud, just knowing. It's just like dating a rapper or a singer or somebody and expecting them to not dabble past a certain point of comfort for you as the average person. So I think that he's just kind of speaking from his experience as well. Granted, still extremely ignorant to say, still
slightly reckless.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is Paul.
Yeah.
And
we know him to be controversial.
Yes, and point us in the direction of a successful relationship that he has had, and then we can all move forward.
And I guess my biggest issue just with the comment, because once again, just like you said, he's entitled to his experience and his, his thought on it. Mm-hmm. I just feel as though we're living in a time where there's enough shit going on. If I have to be in a relationship and test you like to that extreme to see if you love me, then it's not worth it, because there's so many other ways to test a person, because he said from both sides. Yeah. There's other ways to see if a person really love you, if their love is for real. That doesn't take having to cheat on them to figure that out.
And let's be clear, this is for both sides was him backpedaling, so we didn't overly ride his ass about the shit that he
said.
Because
he definitely was standing on business at first.
Oh no, he meant exactly what he said the first time, and he was advising men to do that to their women. He wasn't really advising it to women to do it to the men. He had to backpedal in that moment to kind of like give it room so it didn't feel like it was a double standard statement, but it truly was what the fuck he said.
Playing Uno reverse, how you think this would go on the other side if a woman actually did that?
Baby, you was getting left. You're getting left. You're getting left right where you cheated on a man at, because men do not get down like that at all. Women might, stay around or whatever, and that's another conversation for another day, how people like to talk about, oh, your self-esteem is low because you would stay with a man that cheated and yada yada and bada bada. But again, baby, when we get to talking about your grandma, everybody act like it's hands off, and my grandma couldn't have had low self-esteem by my granddaddy and yada yada. And so it's just like certain things is just we can't really dig too deep into. But I do think that his statements was some clickbait that's somewhat cultural.
It ain't cultural to me. That shit is all the way clickbait. He got exactly what he wanted from the whole conversation. Now, I will say this to your point, though, about women doing it.
Niggas cheat every day.
Women are emotional. Guys are more ego-driven, especially when it comes to their relationships. So, with women, you guys, if y'all cheat, a man look at it as you like that nigga.
Yeah, it was
because
emotional.
That was an emotional decision. Either I'm not doing something right at home and you hate me that much that you had to step out and give another man your coop.
Why women can't get their rocks off?
That's why you got a man at home. And that's where you just killed his ego. Because you had to step out to get love somewhere else. That man ain't coming back to you. You just made him feel less than he could ever feel. And he's on to the next female that's going to uplift him and make him feel like a king.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't condone none of it just because it's just too much to do. It's just too much to do. Work. It's entirely too much work to do. Like, nobody got time for that. One woman aggravating enough. And one man is aggravating enough. I say wrap that shit up. If you don't want to be with people, just don't be with people.
Wrap it up.
That's it. Now, as we wrap up the whole Paul Pierce clickbaity stuff, I feel like this is somewhat clickbaity at the same time, too, when you think about it. So we have our AI artist. What's her name? I don't want to butcher it.
Zania Monet.
She's not a real person anyway.
She's not a real person anyway. Now, granted, Miss Talisha Jones sat down with Gayle King and had an interview where they got to talk about her AI artist that she created that has been offered a multi-million-dollar record deal. And throughout this interview, I thought that it was like an oxymoron interview. It was one of those things where Gayle was asking her certain questions that she would answer, and then Gayle will cancel out the answer, and she would kind of second the notion, like, I kind of get why she canceling out my answer. And maybe I don't make that much sense. I feel like she bought the girl so much clarity in the midst of this interview that this girl felt like she walked into and had all of the answers to.
She was ready.
She was ready for this interview. I feel like she practiced and everything, and then she sat down with Gayle, and Gayle kind of like chopped away at
She was ready until Gayle said
that she came up with.
But you can't sing.
Yeah.
That threw the rest of the interview.
But you can't sing. So I feel like the conversation around this, because a lot of artists and celebrities have taken to their social medias to speak out in reference to it. Like we had Kalani say that she don't too tough care for it. We had SZA speak up and say that she don't care for it. We also had JD and K Michelle. So like people are chatting and talking about this situation. And I feel like the conversation here is this a bad thing? Is this like a major ick thing, and why?
If you ask me, being a pro-artist guy and pro-art, I'm gonna say that I am against it. But then I also understand the business and the nature of how the landscape grows and things change over time. So there is, like Eric Bellinger, for instance, like how he's embracing it. He says, I'd rather catch up with the times versus getting left behind. So he took a different standpoint of creating his own AI artist with his vocals, of course, with some enhancements, embellishments here and there, and his own writing. For someone like him, I can say, okay, because you are the talent, and in some ways, you've shown us that you've earned the right to not technically cheat, but just take it to another level.
Yeah.
So then you have somebody like Miss Talisha that is basically a nobody who came out of nowhere with this unknown artist, and you're charting, you making these charts, but you didn't show us nothing before now, no resume that says you've earned that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem for me, because also in her whole standpoint, and I believe what the fans are saying, I truly believe it, because she was able to get in there before certain stipulations took place. I feel like she took bits and pieces of other artists to make this person.
Yes. So
and that's cheating.
The fans are definitely saying that this AI artist sounds like a mashup between K Michelle, Kalani, Sierra, and Beyonce, depending on what songs you're listening to. So yeah.
And I listened to the project. Musically, it was good. It was a good R&B work. The sad part for me is that I knew I was not listening to a real artist. So that took away the emotional attachment from me.
You see, I want to do a case study where the artists just get played and you don't know if it's AI or not, and see if you still feel the same way about the emotional attachment to it. Because
I think once we find out, that ruins it.
This is how I feel. I feel like because Talisha does not have any musical experience, not even knowing how to write music, she's literally
Everything is a prompt.
She has a prompt and she's letting AI come up with the song. I could respect what she's doing a lot more had she at least been able to write. But just playing devil's advocate, why I'm not extra mad at her is because I grew up as like a Sims kid. So we grew up playing virtual reality games where you may have not been a mother with 3 kids and lived in a mansion, but you could create that lifestyle through Sims and play it or whatever, live through that virtual reality, however that may be. I do think that it is an uncomfortable conversation simply because it is unknown territory right now. So everybody is kind of like, this is weird. It should be illegal. It's sort of kind of how when first like Apple Pay and tapping all of that stuff came about, I used to feel like, how the hell I just tap my phone over the thing and then the money come out the cloud and it land inside y'all? This? Somebody stealing. I used to always say that. So I ran from using tap and Apple Pay for a long time because the concept of it just didn't sit right with me. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. I do think that it is unfair in the same breath to artists and to people who have worked their whole lives to get a certain level of recognition or be offered deals like that or to debut at 30 on Billboard like this AI artist. I do think it is an insult. It is. But
sad part.
It's technology and it's ever changing, it's ever advancing, and once it's put out there, it can't be taken back. So it's going to be utilized and it's going to be used. And before, we already know when you give people anything, they run it in the ground. So NILs, remember you was talking about that? Like everybody ran that in the ground when it first happened, and then now everybody kind of off it. So I feel like this is one of those things. We just kind of got to lay around for it and see what happens with it. But I think just like everything, it's a double-headed sword. It's going to work for us and it's going to work against us. It's just about finding a happy medium in the stipulations to make sure that everybody could still get their ones in.
Yeah, until some real barriers of entry is in place, it is going to be a wide open field.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be jumping into it, trying to get their, they just do, trying to get their charts, just trying to join the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Until like something is put in place that say, all right, there's still a level of gatekeeping here as well. You still can't just get in there and you can't just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can't just say, I need a song that sounds like Beyonce and K. Michelle put together. That's the perfect voice. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Chef kiss. You can't do that. You're going to have to actually be able to put in some substantial amount of work as well.
Yeah.
Maybe AI can't just give you a song. You have to give it a song.
Right.
There has to be some give and take. And I think once that happens, then we'll be in a better place. But then this whole AI conversation opens up to me as well. And y'all can let us know in the comments how y'all feel. What does this do for real human interaction?
Right.
How do we actually get these artists to perform? Like, if you want me to embrace basically hologram music, well, will I actually get to embrace them in person?
Yeah.
And if so, what does that feel like?
I ain't gonna hold y'all. The thought process of that is some sick ass shit to me.
We literally living in a field of the future.
No, seriously, I think that's insane. Like, imagine somebody selling you a headset. Like, you got to buy the headset to see the AI artist like perform, and you sitting on your couch with the headset on, just zoned out. Like, that is some real ass scary.
And capitalism is a real thing. So once that becomes a thing, they're gonna find every way to capitalize off of that. As you said, the headphones. It might be wristwatches that show them hologram in your face. I'm gonna just let y'all know right this. Before y'all give a hologram, give me a teleportation device. I'll be fine.
I would love to teleport.
Right. I want to go anywhere.
Do you think that this is for the culture or is this clickbait to you?
Granted, it's a clickbaity conversation when it comes to Zania. I do think that this conversation...
Zania Monet.
I do think that this conversation is cultural. And it's only cultural because it is going to have a big impact on how we basically maneuver day to day on consuming music.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna have a effect whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna say this is cultural.
I think that is definitely cultural because it definitely is gonna make an impact. It's gonna make an impact. It's going to change things, and it's it's gonna work for us and it's also gonna work against us. So I agree.
Now, while we're talking about impact, somebody else is having a pretty good impact on the R&B world right now. Her name is Summer Walker. If y'all don't know, Summer Walker is getting ready to drop her next part of her series of Finally Over It.
Yes, thank God.
On what, November 14th?
Yes.
Yes. Now, if y'all haven't seen, my girl been all over Instagram and YouTube doing these different pop-up exhibitions about the album. She just recently did one with a dump truck.
Yeah.
Like a Finally Over It dump truck.
Yep.
Like just
driving
rid of
around
things.
campuses, picking up people's ex's shit.
Right. Like, throw your ex stuff away. So it was kind of, it's funny to watch, and I always liked her rollouts because she always does some interesting things. Like last year she did the phone booth. She put the phone booth right in the middle of Atlanta and did it. And I think that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about Summer Walker, what I do appreciate the most about her is her evolution as an artist. Like, I always go back to when I first got put on to Summer Walker, which was on Vine, and she was singing Every Kiss Begins with K. Like, that was my first introduction to her, and that was a viral concept on Vine.
Yeah.
And then all of these years later, now look at who she is.
Yeah.
Even down to, so during her run for this album, she talked about how there was a moment when she used to have her social anxiety. And she started to embrace her artistry, but also embrace her wins.
Yeah.
And that's how she's now at a point where she's really over it. So even with the album, people think the album is about her being over a relationship or over a man.
Yeah.
It's really about her embracing the newness of where her life is now versus where she was when she first started.
Yeah. And that's something that I truly appreciate about her as well, that I'm not gonna lie. I could not stand the whole social anxiety run that she had. Granted, I believe that it was something that she truly did struggle with. So I am happy to see her like come into form basically and doing these type of rollout things and showing us a personality, because at one point I truly felt like there was no personality there. She truly could just sing and that was it. So I think that this is an amazing rollout because, like you said, it's just showing the elevation and just showing her coming out of her shell. And I'm excited for her and excited to see what this does, because I kid y'all not, I think that Summer Walker is extremely talented, but I have never been a major fan of her artistry because I truly felt like she lacked in that angle. So this is nice to see.
Gratefully, this has played a part of her branding, and this is what we talk about. You gotta be in it for the long run. Where
Yeah.
some people are looking for like instant wins.
Yeah.
If you see the longer journey in place, and I don't know if they just went along with things as they changed, but just looking back, if this was all the way the part of the plan, it makes her plan the most authentic rollout that I've ever
Yeah.
seen. Because from the beginning, even if social anxiety was a real thing for her, we felt it.
Yeah.
Her relationships drama was a real thing, we felt it.
Yeah.
And she just used that moment to capitalize on it, but we actually felt that she was really in those moments.
Yeah.
And we technically lived it with her. We hated the social anxiety.
Yeah.
But we also embraced it because we was like, that's a real thing. People
Yeah.
actually have it.
For sure.
We hated hearing about her relationships, but we also know it happens. These things are
It
real.
does.
And she gave us music, good music, at every point of it. So now seeing this level of where she is now, it's kind of like, now we're even more excited than we was album 1 and album 2, because it's like, we've lived this with you.
Yeah.
So we actually like what we see now.
Yeah.
And we are fans now. You know, even vocally, you have progressed. So it's like, we're here with you, Summer. Let's see what you do. And I think that probably is better rollout than anybody who I've seen roll out anything in this generation.
Yeah.
And I put emphasis on this generation because this generation, like I said before, has been very microwave.
Yeah. She has always been very bare bones. This is me. This is what y'all get. This is what I got for you today. And that's it. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not. Now, while we talk about people and legacies and them changing and all of these different things, we have to talk about the fact that Raven-Symone recently made her statements in reference to Bill Cosby and how he in his role on the Cosby Show will always be like a staple representation of Black families in the Black family unit. And I feel like when we talk about people like Bill Cosby and R.Kelly and Diddy, I think the conversation always turns into a thing of legacy versus the allegations that have been brought against them. And I think that we have to do our part to separate the two. I think that we have to do our part to separate the two, but playing devil's advocate, because y'all know I like to do both sides sometimes, I do think that some of the things that they have been accused of, or the madness that goes on in their minds, kind of coincide and creates the mastermind behind their artistry. So I understand why some people will be taken back by some of the stuff that has come out in reference to them. So I think this conversation is kind of double-sided, but I do believe that their legacies live beyond and should be held separately from the things that they've been accused. And, you know, some people, whether they've been acquitted or got a slap on the wrist on it, or whatever the case may have been, for the most part, some of these things that these people have been accused of have been factually proven.
Right. Now, I'm with you with that. And I have two things with that. So the first thing is, I agree. Separate the artistry from the act, right? Because art is still art. If you knew the story behind a lot of art that you see, and I'm talking about from artists' paintings, from models, from movies, down to, like, if you really knew what really happened behind the scenes, you probably wouldn't be a fan of a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is why they say ignorance is bliss. Because what you don't know doesn't hurt you until you know it.
Right.
You know, so that's one thing. Until we know the stories behind some of these things that happen, we don't care.
Yeah.
Now, only reason we care about R. Kelly situation and canceling R. Kelly is because, one, he did something to someone we all love, which is Aaliyah, and that's one of the things that makes it a caveat for conversation. But then you have other pieces such as other victims who came out about what they have went through. But then also understand the entertainment world is a very weird place.
It is.
So there's a very not so understood fine line between acceptance, offer, and like execution of the acts.
Yeah.
You know, it's a blurred line.
Yeah.
And unless we're really there, we don't know everything. So that's why everything is alleged until proven guilty.
Right.
Which is why we say R. Kelly's situation it's all out there. It was true.
Yeah.
But we don't know all the angles that play in that. So I just say all that to say it's like, I have to separate the two.
Right.
For me. And that's for me personally, because I'm a fan of the art. The art is like, especially when we talk about R. Kelly, a lot of his music is like the soundtrack to my upbringing.
Yeah. There are songs that are now tainted.
Yeah, there is. Some songs I can't listen to.
There are some that just make you be like, all right, now hold up. I don't think I should be vibing to this like this.
But it's like we say, if we gonna blame them, we also got to talk about Elvis Presley dating a 16-year-old, marrying her. We got to talk about Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, who allegedly was together when he was underage. We have to talk about a lot of these accusations of other people that we know and love.
Yeah.
And hold them accountable. And if not, just appreciate the art. Don't get too caught up in these people's personal lives because they're human. So stay out of their personal life and just move on.
Yeah. I agree. Do you think that conversation is a cultural conversation, or that's like a clickbait conversation at this point? 'Cause
I think it's cultural. I think because we're fans, we're too attached to their personal lives and we forget that they are human that we never met or don't know.
I think that it is a clickbaity thing that's gone cultural just simply because what shows that it's clickbaity is you got feeling on your booty trending right now on TikTok. Huh? Not R. Kelly. It shouldn't be. Him feeling on anything right now should definitely be uncomfortable for everybody. But it's not.
Trending.
It's trending on TikTok. That's what makes some of it clickbaity. It's like we just have the conversations just to have the conversations, just to rage bait and just to argue,
And
to
let me
be
ask
honest.
You, how long were people mad? They were only mad during the trial and while everything was going on. And after it, 10 weeks later, after everybody silently was listening to R.Kelly,
exactly,
they came back to the light.
Because why was his streams up? Why was he back? Why was songs back charted? Like it just gives very clickbaity, but clickbait does create certain cultural conversations, and this is one of those moments for sure.
Yeah. Now, something else that's definitely for the culture and for the moment is we have Tyler Perry. So if y'all didn't know, Tyler Perry donated $14 million to support families from the SNAP benefits. Yep. Now, I think that was a very commendable thing for him to do because people needed it.
Yeah.
You know, under this time, people really, really need it. And then I'm not sure if it's publicized yet or not, but we have heard that it has been released, right? Mm-hmm. You know, the shutdown is over.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Which is good, allegedly. Until that is factual, it is allegedly. Now, but what I will say on that is, if it is, there's still residual damage that still has to be cleaned up now.
Right.
Because just for the time of lack, people have not been working.
Nope.
Or people have not been getting paid for work they have been doing. So there has been bills that has been constantly still piling up while we've been just waiting for the shutdown to end. Right. So going back to Tyler Perry, I commend him for doing that because families do need that right now.
Yeah, I commend him for doing this too. We know Tyler Perry to be a person of community. And if you don't know that, he has like displayed it with his actions. He keeps all of his actors and actresses in roles and in movies and in TV shows. He circulates the same 10 to 15 actors throughout stuff to keep them working. He has employed family members and different things like that. So it's like he is a person that is of the community, and I think that this was very major for him to do, not to take away from nobody else or any other things that are happening in reference to helping right now, but you have a lot of people that are just doing things like food drives or giving away free meals and different things like that. Tyler Perry decided to go in his bank account, you know what I'm saying, and give a large lump sum of money and sacrifice that money for the greater good. And I think that that's extremely like commendable. Yeah. And I expect nothing less from somebody like Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry has always shown that he's a man of the community, so nobody could ever take that away from him.
For sure. So,
and if you ask me, this is definitely cultural.
Yeah, 1,000%. No way around it, like at all.
Like so.
Grammys. All right. So Grammy nominees have come out officially, and let's just say that it's a nice little lineup going on right now with the folks. I'm pretty pleased, Dante.
I am too. I actually saw a few of the Grammy Awards, and I was happy to see who all got nominated. I will definitely say this was a great year for R&B because we've been singing for the longest. R&B is dead. Well, R&B has definitely made a resurgence this year, and I think this is only going to get better because real music is coming back. Fuck that AI.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, with that being said, I second that notion. Now, we have Kendrick Lamar, who has had the most nominations so far. I believe he have 8 or 9. And then we also have Lady Gaga coming right behind him with 7. And we have Leon Thomas, who has
Let's go, Leon!
6. That's so good. And this is Leon Thomas, I think, first time being on the ballot for this. So that's really dope.
I'm here for that.
Yes. And then we have Doechii, SZA, Tyler, the Creator, and the Clips.
All my faves.
That have
all my
5 nominations right now. So, like, let's just say, you know, the culture will be in the building for sure.
I mean, and this might be very controversial, but say what you want, Punch got some people on that list.
He really do.
So that's all I'm gonna say on that situation.
They had a good year.
And
they made that year on the back of
even
a couple
their
of people. Yeah, and I'm not mad at it. Now, the Grammys is supposed to happen in February, the beginning of February. I forgot what exact date, but it's at the beginning of February of next year. So I'm sure we'll hear more about these nominees. And hopefully we take a lot of these Grammys home. Right now, when it comes to award shows, I just want Black people to win as much as we could possibly win, because I feel like we get played like very often when it comes down to us in music. Like, we are the originators of a lot of taste making sounds and engineering certain kind of ways and playing with certain instruments and just doing certain things, and just even small things like how they created a new country genre to separate Beyonce from the traditional country thing. Like, that's just the perfect example of playing in our face. And this is why I want Black people to take over as much as possible. Like, blend, infiltrate, take over.
See,
literally.
But it kind of goes back to a conversation that we had before. One, there is not a lot of gatekeeping in our genres, or in ours. And I don't want to say our genre, saying that's all we represent.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, the music that we know we dominate, we are also openly welcoming to people just coming in.
Yeah.
Versus country music, as you see, they giving Beyonce a hard time.
Yeah.
Rock
like,
music,
y'all can't come over here.
You can't just come over here.
Yeah.
Even if we started it, they make it seem like you just can't come over here. It's not that open.
Right.
But we are you want to be a rapper? You want to be a singer?
Yep.
You are of Caucasian descent? Come on over. We got a seat for you.
Yeah.
Like, we're a little bit more open about the idea. And I think if we gatekeep enough, we would probably be in the same belt.
Yeah.
And it may even make people respect us more, because it doesn't come off as though we as a people are still looking for that validation from you.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to do it regardless, whether you honor it or not. And that goes back to even with our own award shows. Well, how about we just create our own country music awards, if that's the freaking case?
Yeah, a Black country music
BCMT.
No, seriously, I'm with you and you're right. I do think that we as a people are overly inclusive. And I guess that come from us having to be a little bit more open. And
well, we're the standard.
Yeah.
But we don't move like we're the standard.
No, we don't. And I'm with you on the start gatekeeping a little bit. Like, nah, everybody can't come to the cookout just because you got a little soul and you know how to use a little seasoning salt. It tastes kind of good, but next.
Right, because I might know how to enunciate a little bit. That still don't mean I can come sit at the table.
Exactly, and you ain't gonna hesitate to remind me that I am still Black soon as you get the moment to. So like Mona Leo said, all the non-Blacks to the back, goddammit.
For real.
Move around. Now, I'm going to say that the Grammy nominations are definitely for the culture right now. I hope that this is a cultural win overall and that we sweep the Grammys as people, but we shall see.
We shall see. Now, also, while we're talking about Grammy Awards and while we're talking about just performance in general,
just great culture and Black people,
have Outkast, Salt-N-Pepa, Missy Elliott, and a few other names that were a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this past week.
The induction, they took it over. They took it over completely, and it was definitely great to see. Outkast was inducted, and they did have a tribute that had J.I.D. in it. Jid, that's how you say his name, J.I.D. Mm-hmm. Cool. Janelle Monáe. We also had Doja Cat and Tyler, the Creator.
I love Doja Cat.
Yes. It was just really good. She did Miss Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was cool to put her on it and have her be the person to come out and do that. I wasn't expecting Doja Cat, but I see why they used her in that type of situation, because she would be one of those eccentric artists that I think would say Outkast is a group that inspired her. When you look at her artistry and how she creates music, the sounds that she go for, and the way she storytell. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was dope. And then we all know Tyler, the Creator. He is like in his own lane of just pretty much everything. And I'm sure that they influenced him as an artist, and with his style and how he isn't afraid to step outside of the box, and he might wear a wig and some bell bottoms with no shirt or whatever the case may be. And I think that the people that they used to do the tribute was a colorful group of people that was able to show their impact and their influence in a bunch of different ways, and how it does not necessarily look the same.
I really enjoyed watching Salt-N-Pepa perform.
Yeah.
And here's why.
They look good too.
They still look good. When we talk about like the evolution of even just female rap, Salt-N-Pepa was like coming in an era where they held it down back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just to hear them do the performance and hear the lyrics and it kind of like you get a new appreciation for it at this era.
Yeah.
And then I start to just think about, since they made that song, how many cultural staples Push It Real Good became after it, from commercials to t-shirt brands, lines, everything. Like people, just the word push it became a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just goes back to, once again, our cultural impact as a people, why we are the standard.
Yeah, literally. Every day, in every way, all the time. Now, I'm going to say that this was for the culture, because this just in general just goes to show that the South has always had something to say. But this not only proves that the South has something to say, it shows that what the South had to say was something that was able to cross cultural lines and translate to a bunch of different people. And that's what culture is really about. So I'm going to say that this is definitely for the culture.
Yeah, I'm going to give this for the culture. I think it did what it was supposed to do. And the performances they made were really good.
Yeah.
They did a good job at picking the right people to do what they did. So I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, me neither. I love that it was very black.
Well, if you ask me, I think today was a very black episode.
It was very black. Very check on your people and make sure that they are together mentally. And yeah, this is a great episode.
Listen, y'all, if y'all want to learn more, make sure y'all tune in on all of our socials.
Yes, y'all follow us at the HBUC on Instagram and on YouTube. And then you guys can follow me, Bella_DOND, Don D.
And you can follow me. I am Dante Brown at I am DANT, like Dante Brown. Somebody said that the other day and it was like, Dante? I'm like, no, but yeah.